In there to bring him down.
Loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. From the gun, here's Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Patriots take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
Cam going to bring the Patriots up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Patriots.
A play fake to Michelle, now Newton. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
24-yard gain.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get... And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
Touchdown.
Sony Michel hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Pats have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Randall Cobb on the return. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Duke Johnson, the ball carrier.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the door gets tough in here.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 31-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Johnson on the counter. And this Patriot defense up to the challenge once more as they again stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Faking the give, now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
By the Patriots. They'll take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Following the penalty, Michel. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this 1st quarter of play. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Michel. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Sony Michel on the.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Newton. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
Incomplete.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt.
A 53-yard.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Texans' 30-yard line.
On the handoff, it's Michel. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Sony Michel comes out of a long line of terrific running backs from the University of Georgia and was a first-round selection for New England in 2018. He does not mind carrying the football, never turns down an opportunity. Top 10 in rushing attempts in the league in 2019.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here we go.
The give, this is Michel. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
At the 18-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Devin Asiasi there. And it's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He finds his man Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a pickup of 6.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators.
And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On the draw, here's White. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
A 3-yard pickup, and it's 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
You don't want no problems with me.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Give him a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it still brings up 4th.
Some good, strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness, just about got him into the end zone.
The kick by Maher is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by the rookie Kyle Duggar.
By the Patriots.
We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run the draw play. This is White fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Newton trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Garyon Conley, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
48-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st down, Watson. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
They defer to White out of the shotgun. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
The intended receiver, Sony Michel, and now it's 2nd down. Play action. It's Newton. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
21 yards. And the Patriot first down.
set them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A give to Michel running right. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On first down, it's Newton. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Throwing again on second down. Newton. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'll remember.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. Newton now to throw. This is White on the screen. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Steps away to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Cam Newton taking it in. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Throwing again is Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
1st and 10.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
Ball carrier.
Kyle Duggar up to make the tackle.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
By the Patriots.
The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
2nd and 1.
Going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run on first down. Michel, and this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less designed runs like that. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Watson a give. This is Johnson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
David Johnson, the ball carrier.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 28 yards on that one. And the Patriots will get a new set of downs. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
He's
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll try the air now with Newton. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And my goodness, another interception. Devin McCourty picks it off. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Intercepted by the
well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get him next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards, a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 13-yard line.
And it's Michel once again. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
The ball carrier.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, Michel. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Patriots have it.
And And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
For the field goal, a 21-yard attempt.
Marr able to put this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
First and 10.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah, college, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Patriots take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Newton's going to throw it. That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. On first down, Michel. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Michel, the ball carrier. Today's final score, Patriots 40.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Patriots, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Houston, add one more loss to the column. That